And freezing rain impacting roads remains a big focus for work crews across the state. Another is keeping those in need safe and warm. We now move to Gwinnett County as we welcome in Atlanta News First Avery Braxton, who is live in Duluth from a warming center there. Good evening, Avery.
Good evening. Yeah, this is the Shorty Howell Park Activity Building in Duluth. It's one of 6 warming centers that are actually operating throughout Gwinnett County as they are preparing for the possibility, or not the certainty rather, of these freezing temps that are going to come. These are going to be open until 9:30 on Monday morning, may even go beyond that as they continue to evaluate the conditions of the county. Officials here tell us that on a normal night they might get 20 to 25 people here, but with the threat of the severe weather, freezing temperatures, possibly knocking out power to the surrounding apartment complexes and homes, they're expecting there to be even more need than usual. We actually saw a couple, we saw one family that actually walked in. They were taking in some information from them, getting them prepared, and even gave them some socks. Also offering warm meals to visitors, even helping those who are unhoused find some permanent housing after the storm. But District 1 Commissioner Kirkland Carden says it's important for people to know that these warming centers are open to anybody.
You don't necessarily have to be homeless or housing insecure. You could have a situation where your power's out in your home and you don't have a space heater or a generator to keep you and your family warm. So just know these shelters are here for you. We got cots, we have space, we have volunteers who are here to put in the extra work.
And again, these are going to be open until 9:30 a.m. on Monday, maybe even beyond that, as we continue to evaluate the conditions throughout the metro Atlanta area. But it's not just Gwinnett County that it has the warming centers. You can find a full list of the warming centers across the North Georgia area and across Georgia on AtlantaNewsFirst.com, and you can find your county there. We're reporting from Duluth, Avery Braxton, Atlanta News First.